Hello, welcome back to the VMP Performance channel. My name is Jeremy, and today we're going to be working on the new VMP No-Grind FEAD for the race kits. Let's get to it. So before we get started, you're going to need to make sure that you have a brand new timing cover if you're dealing with a old Roush style FEAD, because the FEAD goes here and they cut this boss off. You're going to need this boss for our pulley here. So make sure your timing cover has the boss. When installing your no-grind FEAD, you're going to want to pay attention to your water pump. If you're running an aftermarket water pump, the castings may be different than a stock water pump, which might require a shim right here to make sure that your bracket is in alignment. This is your race kit laid out. It comes with your bomber bracket and its hardware, 2 idlers and their bolts, your ribbed idler and its bolt, your HD tensioner with its location plate, a half rib shim just in case of belt alignment issues, your belt, your upper bolt assembly, and your adjustable auxiliary idler. Now let's get this onto the engine. Let's go ahead and start with the bomber bracket. You're going to use the bolt hole locations here and this one there. These are 6mm Allen bolts. And you're going to want to go ahead and get the bolts close, and then you're going to tighten this from the bottom up, and then we're going to install this one. I do want to note that you're removing the factory ground from this spot, and you're going to switch it over to your first bolt on your lower intake. You're going to leave your bolts a little bit loose so you can put in the spacer on your bolt in, and I do my small stuff first, and then come in with your big spacer. Now that that's in, we're going to go ahead and tighten, like I said before, from the bottom up. Okay, so we're going to snug these up. I start with this one just to keep the bracket from pivoting. And then we're going to start at the bottom and tighten everything. And now we're going to check to make sure that our gaps are correct on here, which we have already previously done, and make sure that this is snugged up and tight. After your bomber bracket is bolted down, you're going to check the back standoffs to make sure that everything is flush and there are no gaps in between anything. And especially with this number 6 spacer and bolt assembly, you're going to have no gaps in between any of this. These are the 4 standoffs on the back of the bomber bracket that you're going to want to verify that are flush against the block. This is critical to belt alignment. Now the bomber bracket's installed, let's go ahead and install our idlers. These lower idlers here, you'll notice there's the ring, snap ring on it, and then there's no snap ring. The snap rings go inside. You can go ahead and tighten that now. Next, we're moving to our auxiliary idler. Now we're going to install our adjustable idler. You can see there's 3 selections. You can choose your belt tightness. We're going to go ahead and start with the center. You're going to put your clip to the inside, put your standoff on it, and go ahead and get her snug but not tight. Go ahead and adjust that all the way down. Now we're going to install your ribbed idler. The smooth side is the front and that is the back. Go ahead and tighten this down. Next, we're going to install our HD tensioner with its positioning plate. You can see this pin will be located here, like that. Now before you get her all the way tight, now that you're in there, we're going to slip the belt in. Take your belt, flip it inside out, and run it in here. You can go ahead and tighten this up now. Now we're going to move on to belt routing. So now, come across the bottom, flip it back to right side out. This tensioner is pretty stout, so I like to use my big ratchet on it. Next, just verify that you're within all the grooves and everything is seated correctly. Before we make our final adjustment on tightening this belt, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're aligned. And the way to tell that is when you're looking from the passenger side and you're lined up on the belt, if you can see the belt on the inside edge flaring, then it's most likely a half a rib off. And that's when you would install this. And to finish up, we're going to go ahead and tighten our adjustable idler. You're going to take the tension off your tensioner and slide that in. Give it one little final snug. It's time to go hurt some feelings. Now that you're done with the FEAD installation, here's an accessory belt drive diagram to complete the job. And that finishes up our VMP No-Grind FEAD Race Kit. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.